What's up, gamers? Today, we'll be doing something a bit different than the usual. Rather than uploading a highlight reel of my gameplay or an edited down let's play, like I usually do, I'm going to go through my playthrough of Elden Ring and tell you the story of how I became the Elden Lord. We start with our protagonist, Mr.Pink. This character of mine is a staple of my FromSoft experiences. I wish I could show you my past gameplay of FromSoft games, but I sadly did not record any of those games because I was mainly uploading League of Legends at the time and I didn't have the idea to record the gameplay of those. One thing you need to know is that Mr.Pink has a twirly mustache. And you have no idea how upset I am that Elden Ring doesn't have the twirly mustache. It reduces my immersion by at least 100%. Please, FromSoft, if you're watching this, at the very low chance that you're watching this, could you please go back and add the twirly mustache? I need it. After Mr. Pink's creation, the first thing I did was listen to some guy tell me to jump into a hole. Not the best decision. Little did I know, though, that this would be a waste of my time since I know how to play Dark Souls. Although based on how I got washed from the scripted fight earlier, maybe I needed a refresher. After almost dying to the tutorial boss, we make our way into the game proper. Just look at that. Look at how beautiful it is. This game is going to amaze you with the sceneries and sights that you will meet. It's going to fill you with joy just exploring the world that they've created. And whew, after a waste of time, that was more of a waste of time than the tutorial, since it gave me an absolutely terrible item. It's used for PvP. I ain't gonna use that. I don't have an ounce of PvP skill. Now we can start adventuring. And of course, the first thing I do is attempt to fight someone on a horse while I myself am still on 2 feet. Just as you'd think, it didn't go well. It died almost immediately. But now we can actually start. And we start by killing some goats. Question mark? I think they're goats. They kind of sound like goats. They definitely look like goats, but I'm not sure if they are goats. We also killed some ghouls, which leads me to explain one of the core premises of the game: stealth. If you didn't know, this game is in fact a stealth game disguised as a Dark Souls game. The openness of the areas and the myriad of paths you have to get somewhere and get around things means you have that many more options to sneak around to someone's back and, as they say, get them. Now, I had a whole thing about guys with big shields in this part of the script, but I've decided to scrap it because I didn't feel like ranting about shields. But I do just want to quickly say, fuck big shields. I hate guys with big shields. Why are they so fast and why do they block all my attacks?
I'll find a maiden to bless me soon enough.
Oh hey, there she is. Now that I have a maiden by my side spiritually and a horse by my side physically, I can truly start playing the game. Now that we're all pumped up from that horse montage and the wonderful music, thank you, Mad Rat Dead, I need to confess something. I'm not proud of this, okay? But I killed D. It was a moment of weakness. I saw his sword and I thought I could have it, but he didn't drop it. All he dropped was his armor. But I looked it up. I think you get this sword from his quest line, which really just means I lost out on a really cool sword, and I can't get this sword anymore in this playthrough because he's dead. And it's all my fault.
Why didn't he drop his sword?
Moving on from that sad event, this is a good chunk of time after that. I explored a good chunk of the map, and I found some kind of altar. With the confidence of 1,000 fools, I enter the Ever jail, wondering what this is for. Then bam! Boss fight.
Dun,
Whoa!
dun, 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 dun,
Whoa!
dun, dun, dun. Oh shit! Yo! Hey yo, he don't give a fuck.
Oh, let me.
Damn! Well, you got this though. You got this.
I can't trade blows with him anymore. No, no, no. Oh, oh, oh! He missed. Easiest fight of my life.
God damn.
I got his sword.
In stark contrast to D,
Let's see you swing that thing.
It's
You're so strong, you only need one hand, Sean.
that's.
Ooh.
Alright.
The range is quite long,
It is.
but it's a little slow.
I don't know if that's because of my strength being too low.
It's
or...
probably because of your strength.
Did you, Bruno? Did you just see the skill?
I didn't. What happened? Sorry.
I'm switching this.
Damn, brother.
with that boss down and a new weapon acquired, we have acquired the weapon that shall carry me for about the next 15 hours of gameplay, since it's cool and flows well and does some big damage. Now, because I don't want to explain each and every little thing I did in depth, I'm going to quick fire you 3 things that I did. First thing, I met this guy randomly. He told me, my fort, it was taken over by people. Please help me. So I recaptured the fort for him. I only died once when recapturing it for him. It was pretty easy. But he said he was going to lavishly reward me. And all he gave me was a dagger. This might come back on later. Who knows? I haven't killed him yet. But you'll know that if we come back to this, he will be dead. Second thing we did, which if you remember the horse montage we had earlier, this is the part after that clip. We went to this church. It automatically dismounted us for some reason. But then when I walked forward, I found out why it dismounted me. We got attacked. We promptly dealt with Anastasia, the Tarnished Eater, because preferably I didn't want to get eaten today. But then we went to the church, rested at the grace, and then we talked to our maiden. Apparently she's been testing me to see if I'm worthy of some sort of Elden Ring title drop. But it's all chill. I got a horse anyway. The horse thinks highly of me from the start. But this event gave us access to the round table hold. The round table hold has a colorful cast inside of it that, sadly, spoiler alert, pretty much all leave later in the game, which is kind of sad. I was hoping that this place would just fill up with people, but that is not the case. Last thing before we go and progress the story, we had an intimate moment with this woman. I'm not exactly sure who she is or what she's doing here. I can tell you she's gone at my current progress, which is almost done with the game. But we had an intimate moment. She gave me a hug. I kind of just put my head on her lap. I don't know why I didn't give her a hug, but I mean, she felt the warmth for me anyway. I'm not really sure how that worked, but I got an item from doing this called Baldekin's Blessing or something, that would later prove to be devastating to my progress for about 15 hours, but we'll get to that later. We will definitely get to that later. Now that we were done with talking to people around the round table, it was time for us to progress the game, which meant we were going after the first boss. Not the first boss I've fought, of course. You've seen me kill 2 already, that being the Soldier of Godrick and the Bloodhound. No, this is the first major boss, and getting to his grace was pretty easy. Kind of just snuck around the side, although there were a couple guys posted on the side, but we got them. We also got this guy as revenge, because I did die once trying to go up the main road, but I got promptly shot off my horse and then shot again. Get to the grace, and it's time for us to fight the first boss.
That's me. Not really. I'm emboldened by stealth games. Oh my. His knees have got to be fucked up after that.
Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
Now, before we get into our boss montage, I want to quickly go over something that you may have noticed from my gameplay so far. This is related to how I play Souls games in general, and most games, actually, now that I think about it. I don't use shields, I don't parry, and I certainly have a hard time fighting things that you can't stagger, which we will really talk about later on in the playthrough. So how do you think I do against bosses? I ask. I'll give you a couple seconds. If you answered poorly, you'd be correct. This boss took me a whole hour to kill, and you might be surprised to know that that's not my worst record with bosses. That would belong to Star Scourge Radahn, with more than 2 hours of attempts, deaths, and a whole bunch of sadness. But we'll get to that. We will certainly get to that later. With all that said, let us take our foolish ambitions and let them rise to power in this montage of deaths and very unfortunate circumstances.
Who the hell are you?
Pleasure to meet thee, Tarnish. I am the witch Fenna.
Hello.
Tale of a Tarnish taking about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power.
What power?
The spectral steed.
Yeah. I control the spectral steed.
As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Time's former master.
Oh!
Calling forth spirit
That's how I be a necro. I see.
ash, the spirit will obey thy command, if now it is thine.
Thank you.
Give mine, I doubt we shall again. How long will it be for the Tarnish tire?
Well, why won't you just get freaking staggered? I did it. Finally. Meager. I shall remember this.
And that brings us to the end of episode 1. I would have had up to Godrick, but I wanted to upload this sooner rather than later, and also because if I had put that in, I would have had to add like 20 more minutes to the video, since there's a lot of events that happen between now and Godrick. But anyway, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed and want to see more, go ahead and subscribe, because I will be posting more. Probably next week I'll have episode 2 out. No promises. But if I finish my playthrough faster, which I believe I am almost done, I'll probably be finished around tomorrow after this video goes out. But when I finish my playthrough, I'll be able to focus more on editing, because I just can't stop playing this game. It was really hard to edit this video. I just wanted to keep playing Elden Ring. And I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing more. And I shall see you guys next time. Peace out, gamers.